Uh-oh, looks like we're getting serious.
Yeah, come on, we're being live streamed, guys.
Why are we getting serious?
We just
Oh.
saw you are now being recorded.
Hey, here she is. Shh, 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 everybody. She's on the bench. Shh.
Oh, Mr. Nunley, pick a face, any face. Oh my gosh.
I'm like a chameleon, this guy over here. I'm just practicing to go into the spy business, so I'm trying different disguises.
Mission accomplished, Royce.
You do look a lot. You do look a lot different. They're not lying.
I look handsomer, don't I? I look handsomer every day. At least that's what Josh tells me every time I get to work.
Only when I'm behind on stuff. Good morning, Your Honor. How are you today?
I am super. How are you, Mr. Hadley?
We're good. Just keeping it light on a Monday.
I appreciate that. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am wonderful. What is your name, please?
Shakita Madison.
Miss Madison, you're here for sentencing today. Do you need to speak to your attorney?
We just
We
got
spoke already.
Okay. Mr. Nunley, if you're ready, I'm ready.
Yep, we got ready.
This is 22BL 00688 AOD. This is City of Belleville versus Chiquita Madison. May I have your appearance, please?
Yep, Royce Nunley appearing on behalf of the defendant.
State your name for me, Miss Madison, again, please.
Shakita Madison.
Thank you. As indicated, today is the day and time set for sentencing of this matter. Ms. Madison, on September 18, 2022, in the city of Belleville, was charged with operating while intoxicated. She appeared in front of this court with her attorney on December 15, 2022, and entered a plea of guilty to the reduced charge of operating while visibly impaired. As is this court's policy with drinking and driving offenses, the matter was referred to the probation department for a screening and a sentence recommendation. The court has received that recommendation, reviewed it, and the accompanying police report and criminal history in its entirety. Mr. Nunley.
We have reviewed the pre-sentence report ourselves. We have no additions, deletions, or corrections. We would ask the court to adopt the recommendation from the probation department in its entirety. This does appear, at least to me, to be an isolated incident. She doesn't have much of a criminal record to speak of. There was something from way back when in 2008, a disorderly person. But besides that, my client's indicated that she doesn't have any criminal history. Her driving record seems pretty good. So, you know, I believe that it's an isolated incident, and Ms. Madison assures me that the court will not see her again for this sort of matter. So we just ask that the court adopt the recommendation in its entirety.
Thank you. Miss Madison, was there something you wanted to say, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Again, the court having reviewed the police report in its entirety, the court will adopt the recommendation made by probation officer Anthony Grant, and Miss Madison will be assessed a fine of $300, cost of $300. Their $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $150 of restitution to the city of Belleville, mandatory $50 state cost, and $20 fund fee. My math puts us at $895. Ms. Madison, you will also be required to complete 24 hours of community service. That must be completed within the next 45 days. That must be at a nonprofit. If you do not have a relationship with a nonprofit where you can do those hours, please reach out to the probation department. They will help you get connected with an agency. You are to provide documentation to the probation department that confirms that you completed those 24 hours, okay?
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Nunley?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Anything you wanted to add, Mr. Grant?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Madison, you need to be in communication with the probation department with those community service hours, and you need to establish a payment plan for your fines and costs in this matter, okay?
Yes, thank you.
Have a good day, ma'am. Good luck to you.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. That's it for me. I'll see you.
No, it's not it for you.
Is that?
No, you have Romulus, right? The
Rom-
arraignments, we're waiting for them.
Yeah, I haven't gotten an
And-
email yet, so,
Okay, Andy says she's working on it.
oh, I did get an email, sorry. All right, I'll be back soon then.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
I'm with you again tomorrow. I have my calendar wrong. I didn't know you were doing the DV docket tomorrow. All right. Two.
criticism. Whatever.
We see you will get you into a breakout room with Mr. Nunley.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge. I'm on my way up with the files now.
Thank you so much. Good morning. How are you? Yes, sir. What's going on? I'm good. How are you? What's going on? Really?
Kind of busy downstairs. Which is
Are you serious? Busy with
just customers coming in.
customers?
Well, nobody came to work today. So we got them lined up. I mean, all our guys are here. I'm sure they.
Oh
they
my
get
God.
up for Super Bowl. We got trial going next door.
Oh, I didn't know.
Ramos Housing Commission and some woman.
Really?
Listen to this, they want to, Hitchcock is the attorney for the Housing Commission.
Mm-hmm.
This lady moved in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
So she's been a tenant 18 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want to, the Housing Commission wants to show her.
All right.
You can't because people, I mean, it's all this road rage and now they're putting those SWAT cameras on freeways.
Mhm. And you know, even though I do have a gun, I don't want to get in a confrontation.
You don't want a
with
gunfight on the freeway.
No, no, because you know what? If it happens that I end up shooting somebody, now I'm going to jail. I don't want that. I don't want to spend 1 minute in jail. All right.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir. Can you hear me?
There we are. Your name, sir, with the black shirt on, please.
Jonathan Ellison.
Mr. Ellison, you're about a half an hour early, but if you sit tight. Mr. Ellison, you were set for review this morning. Were you looking to speak with the court-appointed attorneys, or were you ready to proceed on your own?
I could proceed on my own. I made a payment and I was gonna catch up with the Feb. Okay,
I know, I see that. That's why I was gonna say, if you're ready, let me call the cases and then we'll start having that conversation. These are 1943090 OD, 1820020 OT, and 18R601071 These are all City of Romulus versus Jonathan Ellison. State your name for me, sir.
Jonathan Gregory Ellison.
Thank you, Mr. Ellison. The last time we were here, the court adjourned the case to allow you to either resume payments or community service. That your fines and costs have been converted to community service back in October. And we reset this review a few times to allow you to either resume payments or do some hours of community service. The court this morning received proof from the probation department that you've made payment of $150 within sometime between, looks like Friday afternoon and this morning. It was processed this morning at 7:05.
Yes.
And Mr. Ellison, what was your intention regarding your remaining payments due on these matters?
I wanted to make payments on them, but the 150 a month is kind of steep for me.
You said what's kind of steep?
The 150, because I'm not like, she sent some records over. I had surgery on my hand for the community service. It's gonna be kind of rough to do that.
What's realistic for you, sir?
Like 50 would be nice.
Did you reset the payment plan with them at 150?
No, I never even set no payment plan. They just said it with me.
I'm sorry, sir. You say you injured your hand and that was part of the reason why you weren't making, or you couldn't do the community service?
Yes.
Is that keeping you from working?
Yes, I'm disabled.
You're disabled because of the hand injury permanently or temporarily?
Temporary. I got other injuries going on with me.
It looks like they reset them the way they did to keep the payments. At 2 years. I mean, that's the length of the payment plan they can set it for. Mr. Ellison, I'll make the adjustment to the $50 per month, given the comments you just made. The files list you as being homeless, sir. What is your current address?
I'm just going off my email right now. I'm I'm staying with a family
Okay.
member, so I just have to contact the court, or they can contact me by email.
Okay. And when will you make your next payment?
Thursday, Friday be, if it's 50, I can pay it Friday.
Friday, is that realistic? Friday the
Yes.
17th?
Yes,
And then the
that is-
17th thereafter?
Yes,
Okay. Mr. Ellison, in the file, I'm writing that we're resetting the payment plan at $50 per month to 17/23 and 17th thereafter. And based on your statements this morning and the fact that you did in fact make a payment, we'll consider your previous failures to comply resolved. And so long as you make the payments, you don't need to return to court, okay, in these matters.
thank you, Your Honor.
But should you stop making payments, they'll probably send you another notice and you'll be back here with me, okay?
Thank you.
Good luck to you with your hand, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
Yes.
Good morning. Okay. Yep. When I saw you, I was like, well, A, you're not dressed, well, not dressed, but not in uniform, but.
Yeah.
Mr. Nunley, are we ready? Uh-oh.
Yes, Your Honor, I am ready on both files.
I'm not. It looks like I'm frozen. Let me see. Oh, there we are. Oh, Mary Ann, shoot. There we are. Mr. Gordon,
Yes, ma'am.
this is 230089 SM. This is State of Michigan versus Terrence Gordon. May I have your appearances, please?
Yeah, Royce Nunley on behalf of the defendant. We waive a formal reading and stand mute to the charge.
Mr. Gordon, state your name again for me, sir.
Terrence Gordon.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment in this misdemeanor matter. Mr. Nunley has waived the formal reading. We'll have you stand mute to the charges against you. Sir, you've had the opportunity to speak to him regarding the charges you face and the possible consequences.
Yes.
Thank you. Sir, you have a right to be considered for pretrial release. The recommendation from the Romulus Police Department is that your bond be set at 5,000, 10%, and that the conditions be that you have no contact with the complainant, in this case, Jaleesa Cheeseborough. Mr. Nunley, your comment as to bond in this matter.
I would ask the court to consider a personal bond in this matter. So it indicates on the bond rec that he's possibly out of, or on probation out of Inkster. He believes that the probation was already terminated and he was on probation just for traffic. So it wasn't any sort of assaultive crime or anything like that. He is working full-time at a Checkers as a manager. He has 3 children who he has visitation with, who he is paying support on. He indicated to me that he has no warrants. I told him that he would not be allowed to return to the residence. He understands and said that he'd be staying with his mom, who also lives in Romulus. I think he's a good candidate for a personal bond. I don't see the benefit in having him put a cash bond with his record.
Is the complainant the mother of his children?
I'm not sure. Sir?
One of them.
So okay. Mr. Gordon, the court has had the opportunity to review your criminal history and will depart from the recommendation made by the police department and set your bond at 5,000 personal. You don't need to post any money, but a condition of your bond is that you have no contact with the complainant, Ms. Jaleesa Cheeseborough. I understand that you have a child in common, sir, but for right now, no contact means no contact, no direct contact, no contact with third parties, no contact with social media. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Should the court receive a report that you've made efforts to contact Ms. Cheeseborough while this matter is pending and the bond has not been altered, sir, it could be viewed as a violation of the bond. Your bond could be revoked and you could spend the rest of these proceedings in custody. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Your next appearance date will be a pretrial on on Tuesday, February 28, 2023 at 9:20 a.m. with Judge Green on Zoom for courtroom number 3.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Nunley?
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gordon, again, this case number is 230089 SM. Next appearance date, February 28th at 9:20 with Judge Green.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Nunley, have you also spoken to Mr. Williams?
Yes, we are ready to proceed.
Thank you. This is 230090 SM, State of Michigan versus Altoni Williams. May I have your appearances, please? I'm sorry.
Royce Nunley appearing on behalf of the defendant. We'd waive a formal reading and stand mute to the charge.
State your name for me, please, sir.
Tony Williams.
Mr. Williams, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Nunley. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, I do.
Mr. Williams, you have a right to be considered for pretrial release. The recommendation from Romulus Police Department is that your bond be set at 5,000, 10%, and that a condition of your bond is that you have no contact with the complainant, that being Krista Calloway. Mr. Nunley, what say you as to that bond recommendation?
Again, I would ask that the court depart from the department's bond recommendation. I didn't see any sort of reason why they would want to consider a cash bond in this matter. He's not on probation or parole. He has no warrants. There's really no information. It just says 5,000, 10%. He's married to the alleged victim. I explained to him that he can't go back. He understood. He said that he's going to be staying with his grandmother who lives in Detroit. They have a 3-year-old child together. I told him that, he can't even contact the mom regarding the minor child, but that he may want to consider initiating an action in the family court in order for him to get some interim visitation or child custody set up. He said that he understood. He is currently unemployed. However, he was supposed to start a job today at Grobel, like the meat place. And he was working up to about 2 weeks ago. So he doesn't have like a history of being unemployed. He was hoping to try to get out of there. So maybe he could salvage this new job that he has. However, money's tight. So I would ask the court to consider releasing him on his own recognizance.
Mr. Nunley, the court appreciates your advocacy, but has had the opportunity to review Mr. Williams' criminal history. He has weapons violations on his criminal history, which gives the court some cause for concern. Based on that, the court will adopt a recommendation from the police department, set his bond at 5,000, 10%. Condition of the bond, should Mr. Williams post, is that he have no contact with the complainant in this case, that complainant being Krista Calloway. The next appearance date in this matter will be the pretrial with Judge Green on Tuesday, February 28, 2023 at 9:20 a.m. That is on Zoom. Mr. Nunley, strike that. In reviewing the criminal history again, those weapons charges were more than a decade ago. But Mr. Williams, the condition is that you have no contact with the complainant. No contact means no contact, no direct contact, no contact through third persons, no contact through social media. Should the court receive information that you've made efforts to contact Ms. Calloway in this matter, it could be viewed as a violation of your bond. Your bond could be revoked. You could spend the rest of these proceedings in custody. Understood?
Yes, ma'am. Can I ask you one question, please? Right now we have our daughter, I want to Head Start, and both of us was like taking turns getting her. So right now, while I'm dealing with this case, basically, from my understanding, just stay away. Like,
Well, Mr. Williams, do you have an arranged schedule regarding drop off and pickup, or is it just a last minute, hey, can you pick the baby up?
it was a last minute thing because usually I'll be at work, so her uncle usually get her. But like if I got off early or something, you know, I go get her. So it was one of them last
Okay.
minute type of things.
Mr. Williams, unfortunately, the court only has the allegations in this matter. The police department had a lot more information regarding the allegations made by Ms. Calloway in this matter. And inasmuch as their recommendation to the court is that you have no contact with the complainant, the court will leave it at no contact, sir. When you appear in court on the 28th with Judge Green, your attorney, or if you're representing yourself, you can make the request to amend the bond to allow to make childcare arrangements, but for right now, there's no such stipulation in the recommendation, okay?
Okay.
And Judge, if I may, what was the bond set at? Was it still a cash bond?
It was
or did-
5,000. No, I said I changed it to personal because of the age of the gun allegations, the weapon allegations, more than a decade ago. I won't hold Mr. Williams to that.
Thank
Anything else, Mr. Nunley?
Nothing further, Judge.
Anything else, Romulus?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day. Good luck to you, Mr. Williams. Do you
Thank you.
swear from the contents of the affidavit or truly best your knowledge, information, and belief?
I do.
Thank you. Like I haven't seen you in a long time.
It's been a little bit. I'm still old school. I drive over to get my warrant signed.
I'm okay with that. There are some people who do, and there's some people who always send them electronically. It doesn't matter to me. If I'm here, I'm happy to. I just wanted to get the two arraignments gone.
Oh, I don't know. I'm meeting with that arson team at 11, so.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, I saw that. When I saw the news, I was like, nope, turn the channel.
Judge, are you okay with the email PTR today?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Hmm.
You like the fact that they knew the water was gonna be shut off?
But I'd heard that before, that there have been some hydrant issues down there.
The trailer park did some maintenance and sent out a notice to all the community, like, hey, the water's gonna be shut off, and you're not gonna be able to use the water. Well, the fire department never got a notice. So they shut up and they're trying to try all these hydrants, and finally the manager's like, oh, the water shut off. They're like, what? So really suspicious.
Yeah, Ahmed was down here last a week for something else, and I hadn't seen him in forever. He showed me updated pictures of baby.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, he's adorable.
he's a proud dad.
Just a little bit.
Now that he's on night, I don't see him all that much.
Well, I hadn't seen him since well, I think I've seen him once since the promotion, which has been quite some time now, but what did he say? The boy, his son is 10 months?
Yeah.
Mr. Flynn, I'll be with you in just a moment, sir.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome, sir. Anything else new with you?
Stuff.
Really?
Couple more years in retirement,
What's a couple?
like 3,
And then what?
I don't know. Not police work,
Not police work?
not police work.
So you say that, but I have an uncle who's now retired 3 times, and every time he comes out of retirement, he goes back into some kind of police work.
Some people can't get away from police work because it's just part of their life.
But
I
is he,
don't think that's me.
thought he
Like
was
I could
doing
do,
records with you all, Sam James?
I love Sam.
Yeah, Uncle Sam.
I love Sam.
Yeah, he keeps retiring and showing back
Yeah.
up at a different,
I love Sam.
I do too.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I always, me and him, because we're always dressed nice when we see each other.
Yeah.
We always compliment each other.
Well, I didn't realize that he was with Huron until I was doing something with one of your patrolmen, and I look up and I see him. I'm like, Uncle Sam, because I thought he was still at the airport.
He is. He just does background investigations for us on the side.
But then I'd seen him at, it's probably been a couple of years now. You know, he left Washington, then he was at Beaumont for a minute. And I'm like, dude, would you get somewhere and get still?
Yeah, see, I could do something like background investigations or investigation work for insurance companies or something. I could do investigation work because that's what I enjoy,
Mhm.
but I could never do police work.
You say that now, but I'll check back with you in a few years.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Well, actually, Mr. Whaley would be first in the 9 o'clock docket. Mr. Whaley,
Good morning.
good morning. This is 22 HR 08299 AOD. This is Huron Township versus Lamar Whaley. Sir, have you spoken to an attorney this morning?
No, ma'am.
Were you looking to speak to an attorney regarding this probation violation? Or were you looking to proceed on your own?
I was looking to proceed on my own.
Okay, state your name for me again, sir.
Lamar Whaley.
Thank you, sir. Today, again, is the day and time set for hearing on the probation violation. This court has received a notice from Shannon Rapp, the probation officer, that indicates that you were sentenced on October 31st, 2022 for a period of 12 months, that you have failed to obtain the alcohol monitor, failed to appear for random alcohol drug testing, and failed to provide documentation of substance abuse treatment. More specifically, that you spoke to probation about your financial situation and your tether was adjourned for 45 days for you to organize your finances so you could obtain the tether. However, you have not done that as of yet. Your sentencing was November, December, more than 3 months ago now. That you signed up for alcohol and drug testing but failed to appear for tests on December 14th. You have not provided documentation to confirm attendance of 3 sessions at St. Mary's 3-part education series on Zoom, and have failed to maintain your payment plan, that you never made a payment of the fines and costs that were assessed to you on October 30th, 2022. Sir, as to these alleged violations of your probation, what do you say in response?
So with the, as I had stated, when I was sentenced, I let her know immediately, you know, with all of my bills and everything, that I'm not able to just come out that chunk of money for the tether. I was asking if I could get on a payment plan to get it. And the, I guess the facility that assigns the tether, they said there's no way around it, that I just have to pay that $300 up front and then another $200 the next month after that. And I just right now, I can't afford it with all of my bills. And I've had a couple of financial setbacks with my vehicle and everything that I had to, you know, had to pay for. So I'm not able to afford it right off the bat. And with my testing, I was sick that particular time that my color was called, but I did go in after that. And I called my probation officer. I left a message to let them know what was going on. And I've been going ever since whenever I had to do the random testing. With the substance abuse program, the particular one that I called, it wasn't available. Like the number I called, it wasn't anything that I could set up. So I was trying to go through, which I'm in a program right now that I'm utilizing through my Medicaid, because I was trying to find something that would be cost effective for me, or this program is actually free. So it works out for me. I just couldn't afford to, the list that was given to me that I went through, everything was like $150 or $200 for the session. So I've been trying to work around that as far as finances go.
So Mr. Whaley asked for the allegations that you are non-compliant with testing, non-compliance with treatment, with the education series, and non-compliant with payments. Is your response guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Well, Mr. Whaley, you say not guilty, but we've just had this conversation and you still have not obtained the tether, correct?
That is correct.
You still have failed to test in this matter, correct?
No, I did the testing.
Ms. Rapp?
Your Honor, he did test on November 11th. He failed to appear on December 14th and on January 11th, but he tested a few days later on the 14th unannounced. So he technically has the one failure to appear on December 14th.
And sir, you have not made any payments on the fines and costs assessed in this matter back on October 31st?
Not
Is it your
yet.
pos- Ms. Rapp? Your recommendation on how to proceed with Mr. Whaley?
For his substance abuse treatment, if he says that he is currently in a program right now, as long as he provides documentation, I don't have a problem with him completing that. My only concern is the tether. We have adjourned this quite some time for him to find the means for the tether. So I'm not quite sure where to move forward from here because this was adjourned multiple times.
Okay, Mr. Whaley, what the information the court has does not include that unannounced appearance in January for testing. But sir, the court sent you more than 90 days ago. You are not compliant on the vast majority of what the court ordered. Ms. Rapp has indicated now that there have been efforts to, well, there's the deadlines for you to do things have been extended based on your extenuating circumstances, but sir, you haven't held up your end of what should be happening in this matter. And although you indicated that you're not guilty of the violations set forth in the memo from the probation department, the court, in just listening to you, hears that you are in fact non-compliant on the vast majority. You haven't made payments, and I understand you've had some financial issues, but you still have to do something. You just can't ignore that fines and costs have been assessed and you have certain obligations. The court will find you guilty of the probation violations as set forth by the probation department.
May I ask a question?
Absolutely.
So right now, because I get paid this week, I'm able to put something toward it right now. It's just with my rent and car notes, and I pay child support and everything like that. That's just really been what's hard for me to come up with the funds, but I can put something toward it today. And I was asking because the like I said, the facility for the tether, they said they can't do like a payment plan for it. That's all I was asking, if I could put something toward that to get the tether, but they said that specific facility won't allow that. Is there a way that I can set that up that way? That's the only thing that's been holding me back. But I can pay something this week. It's just my rent is $1,400. I have a car note that's $400. Then I pay child support. I work every day. It's just right now with all of my bills, that's the only thing that's been stopping me.
Ms. Rapp?
Your Honor, I can contact some tether companies to see if they will allow payment plans and move forward with that.
Thank you. So, Mr. Whaley, the probation department is willing to work with you. As for the rest of it, sir, you have to get signed up for the education series and you have to resume payments. Well, you have to start payments. I understand that you're stretched financially, but you know, what brought us here were your actions on August 26, 2022 in Huron Township. So the court, when sentence was imposed, what this court typically indicates to people is that the probation department is here to assist you in being successful on probation. That means if you're having an issue, to reach out to them by phone or by email or by coming into the court. So what we will do, I'm sorry, was somebody else starting to say something? Mr. Whaley, what we will do is, Ms. Rapp, I think I want to do a review of Mr. Whaley. We don't have to do it in our February, let's say 60 days. Mr. Whaley, what will happen next is you'll get a notice from the probation department to return here in 60 days for status to see if you have completed, if you've corrected the failure to be compliant with the payments and the program and the alcohol monitor. If Ms. Rapp believes that you have made sufficient progress, then you will remove the review from the court schedule, but I need something to show you that the court is serious about you stepping up in terms of what you need to do for probation, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else, Ms. Rapp?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Whaley, good luck to you, sir. Remember, be in contact with probation about what needs to happen to get you on track with probation, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Mr. Flynn.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. Were you looking? Were you looking to speak with the court-appointed attorney this morning, or are you looking to proceed on your own?
I would like to proceed on my own, Your Honor.
This is 1617777 OD. This is Huron Township versus Sean William Flynn. State your name for me, sir.
Sean William Flynn.
Mr. Flynn, today is the day and time set for hearing on your probation violation. There is a memo from the probation department that indicates that you were sentenced in this matter back on June 27, 2016, and you have been non-compliant regarding treatment, attendance at Alcoholics Anonymous, testing, the work program, and making payments. More specifically, that you failed to provide documentation of attending 3 AA meetings, failed to appear for the work program. You completed none of the 8 days that were assessed to you previously. That you failed to engage in substance abuse treatment, failed to appear for random drug and alcohol testing, failed to maintain your payment plan. You owe the court in this matter $2,762.20. That you failed to comply with any aspects of your probation. You've had multiple failures to appear for hearing in the past. Sir, what say you to these allegations?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that one more time, Your Honor?
What is your response to the allegations of being in violation of probation, guilty or not guilty?
I would like to plead guilty, Your Honor.
Mr. Flynn, what's happened over the last 6 years that you've been non-compliant with the sentence that was imposed?
To be completely honest with you, Your Honor, I was I was struggling with a lot of mental health problems at the time. I was at a real low weight. I was probably about 140 pounds. About 2 years after, which would be the last 3 to 4 years, I started hearing voices and started struggling with auditory hallucinations. I've called the police on myself like 3 or 4 different times, trying to turn myself in, because like I was hearing voices to tell me to turn myself in. And later on, I got diagnosed with schizophrenia. Your Honor, I also wanted to explain the reason I think that I was also violated was I did do a drug test that day with my probation officer, and medications did show up in my urine, but I've had the medications prescribed to me at that time, and I told my probation officer that. He just like I think he just didn't believe me at the time, because I didn't have the paperwork, but I can get that, Your Honor. And then also I want to say I'm sorry. I have no excuse other than I can't be around really loud noises, because it can cause stress on my brain and worsen schizophrenia that I have. But other than that, I have no excuse other than I'm waiting to get disability. I've been trying to get disability the past couple of years, and I think we got some lawyers that's willing to help me out now, Your Honor. I'm sorry for my shaky voice. I'm just like, I get really nervous at sometimes. And I just wanted to explain, I have been drug testing every month for my doctors. He sends it to a lab. I just wanted to let you know, if that would help, I could get all the documentation on that and show that I haven't been on any other drugs or anything like that. I've just been taking my medication that I've been prescribed, and maybe a little bit of marijuana, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn. Ms. Rapp?
Sorry, Your Honor. I apologize. I'm just gonna wait till my phone's done. I apologize.
Don't apologize.
Sorry, Your Honor. If what I would recommend is, if the defendant can provide documentation that he is currently seeing a doctor, that we can close his case out and turn it over to collections, since this is a 2016 case. And that he's getting the mental help that he needs, he can proceed with that.
Mr. Flynn, how long would it take you to provide that documentation to the probation department?
Just to be very, very safe, Your Honor, I would be more than gracious if you could give me up to a month, just to make sure that I have a ride and I can actually make it down there and actually, show the probation officer. Your Honor, I promised the judge when I saw him that I would turn back up in court, just like I promised when they gave me the precognizance release or whatever it's called. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but whatever it's called when they let you out on bail on your own signing. And I promised the judge last time, I promised him this time, and I said, yes, I'll be at court, and that's what I'm doing. And I just want to promise you, Your Honor, I will get the documentation there within a month.
Thank you. Mr. Flynn, you have 30 days to provide documentation to the probation department that you are under the care of a doctor, that you're receiving treatment for your mental health issues. And what will happen thereafter is that your probation file will be closed as unsuccessful on probation, and the matter will be turned over to the collections department. So that your only remaining obligation to the court after submitting the doctor's information would be payments on the fines and costs that remain due in this matter, okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions at all, Mr. Flynn?
No, I do not, Your Honor.
Mr. Flynn, thank you for joining the court timely and appropriately this morning. Good luck to you in your treatment and your recovery, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a wonderful day.
You too, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good morning, Mr. Jadala.
Good morning, Your Honor. Aaron, I'm sorry to interrupt. I was just, point of clarification. I believe there's a Kelly Damron scheduled for 10. Last time she was up, it was with Josh Hadley, and for some reason he thought maybe that's something I should be handling. I haven't talked to her since December, back in December when I sentenced her, so I have no idea I'm required today.
There at 10 o'clock, there's a motion hearing.
Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Damron had a restitution hearing that was canceled. Mr. Hadley was part of that. I did send him an email, so I apologize, and I'm not sure why Mr. Jadala
Me neither.
was involved in that.
Yeah,
So we're
sorry,
good.
Sammer. Not sure how you got looped back in on this one either. Mr. Grant, thank you. I did leave a
Thank you,
message
Mr.
with Miss
Jadala.
Dameron, letting her know that we're good. So not sure what happened there.
Sounds good, guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your morning. I'm sorry to interrupt.
You too.
No,
No
thanks,
worries.
Hammer.
Thank you, sir. Mr.
Yeah, and sorry about
Parmalee,
that,
we're
Tony,
waiting
if
for
I
Mr.
missed
Leonard.
something on that.
Mr. Parmalee,
Yes, ma'am.
are you expecting Mr. Leonard this morning?
No, I wasn't. I was just here on my own today.
Sir, were you looking for the assistance of the court-appointed attorney on this probation violation?
No, ma'am.
This is 22BL00637 AOD. This is City of Belleville versus Joseph Parmalee. State your name for me, please.
Joseph Michael Parmalee.
Thank you. Mr. Parmalee, today is the day and time set for your probation violation, sir. It's alleged that you tested positive for alcohol on January 18, 2023, while you were on the alcohol monitoring. In addition to testing positive, you missed a total of 16 tests between January 22nd, 23 and January 27th, 2023, that you have failed to be fingerprinted as previously directed by the court, or as previously ordered by the court, actually. In response to these allegations, sir, is your position guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Mr. Parmalee, do you have any explanation for your failure to comply with the court's order?
Your Honor, I travel for work all over the US, and I left the breath thing on the kitchen counter, and we got 250 miles away before I realized it. So I ended up the whole week without it, and I contacted Mr. Grant as soon as the weekend was over and let him know about it. And I apologize, and I've been very, very cordial in doing everything that I'm supposed to do since then. And I do very much apologize.
Mr. Parmalee, the court's concern is that your blood alcohol at the time of this offense back on September 8th, 2022 was a 0.248, which is one of the highest that this court has seen. And sir, for you to have a positive test and then conveniently fail to test the following week makes the court concerned that you are not taking your probation seriously. And it might be better for you to do some time in custody so that you can be compliant with the testing that's been ordered by the court. That's this court's inclination.
Your Honor, I got my testing unit back when I got back into town, and I picked it up off the counter, and I have not filled one since. And I've been due diligence doing everything that I can to stay sober and to keep sober and to pass every single breathalyzer that's given to me.
Mr. Grant, what's your recommendation on how to proceed with Mr. Parmalee?
Your Honor, he has been back in compliance since that weekend of missed tests. I would suggest that based on the other fact that his alcohol monitor is actually due to come off, he was only part of his probation was for 30 days, which is up today, that we extend the alcohol monitor at least 30 days, and then we could reevaluate. I also asked that in those 30 days that he would get fingerprinted. I know he's out of town quite a bit, but he was in Michigan. I did ask him to get fingerprinted during that time, and it wasn't done then, so that is something that needs to be completed.
Mr. Parmalee, when are you next in Michigan, sir?
Your Honor, I'm not exactly sure, but I plan on going there in the next 30 days. I would hope so. Our schedules are so lucrative, like we don't really know what we're doing, within 7 days before we do it. And I apologize for that. It's just kind of the nature of my job. But as soon as I do get back into Michigan, I will definitely get fingerprinted. And I apologize for that. We got back in town late and had to work the next day. That weekend that I was home, and I just never made it over there. I don't have a vehicle. And
Mr.
I can't-
Parmalee, the court will, I'm cutting you off, sir, respectfully. The court will adopt Mr. Grant's recommendation, will extend your alcohol monitor 30 days. You have also 30 days to get fingerprinted. If we get to 30 days from today and you haven't been fingerprinted, and Mr. Grant raises additional concerns with this court about either a positive test or your failure to test, then we'll have a much more serious conversation about your non-compliance with the probation, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Grant? I'm sorry.
Just a quick question. If I don't make it back in 30 days and I complete all my alcohol monitoring, can I just let Mr. Grant know that I'll be back as soon as I can to get fingerprinted?
If you're not back in Michigan, the short answer to your question is yes. But if you're not in Michigan within 30 days, when you contact Mr. Grant, you need to have a specific time frame of when you will be fingerprinted. Your sentence was imposed a few months ago, so you've had adequate
Yes,
time
ma'am.
to, okay. It's a matter of communication.
Thank
between
you
and
so
Mr.
much.
Grant. Okay.
Thank
Anything
you.
else, Mr. Grant, in this matter?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Parmalee?
No, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank
Have
you
a
so
good
much.
day.
All right, you too.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Ms. Taylor, are you expecting Mr. Blake this morning?
No, because I haven't even told him about my encounter.
Were you looking for the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning regarding this probation violation?
I can if I can get one as possible. Or I need
He's
to,
here right now. We can get you into a breakout room with him.
Sure.
Look on your screen. You'll see an invitation to go into the breakout room with Mr. Hadley. Please go there with him. Mr. Laurie.
Yeah,
Sir, you were scheduled to be here at 8:30. What happened to you this morning?
I did not. I was up and then I fell back asleep. Sorry.
Turn your camera on for me, please, sir.
My camera does not work.
Mr. Laurie, were you looking for the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning? Or are you looking to proceed on your own?
Court appointed attorney.
Mr. Hadley just went into a breakout room with someone else. When he's done with that case, we'll get you moved into a breakout room to discuss this matter with him.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Mr. Morton.
Morning, Your Honor. Was it, I can address my case very quickly for the record. For the record, Attorney Ian Morton on behalf of Rawsonville Woods. If you'd like to call the case, we're going to.
Thank you. 224657 LT Rawsonville Woods versus Champagne Price. The case isn't scheduled until 9:45. Oh, 9:45, you're a minute early. But Mr. Morton, you started to say you could address it.
Yes, Your Honor. My client did receive keys back for the property. So at this time, they're going to withdraw their request for the order of eviction. And so no further action is necessary on this file, as my client does have possession of the premises back.
Thank you, Mr. Morton. Anything else in this matter?
Nothing else, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will declutter your Zoom. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Ann, I'm stepping off just long enough to sign the files for Andy. I'll be right back.
Okay.
This is 220501 SM, State of Michigan versus Sheena Taylor. May I have your appearance, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley, appearing on behalf of the defendant, Ms. Sheena Taylor. Ms. Taylor, can you state your name for the court?
Sheena Taylor.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for a hearing on the violation.
Oh, shit.
The statement from the probation department indicates that Ms. Taylor was arrested on January 25th, 2023 in Port Huron for domestic violence involving the same victim. The charges were reduced to being a disorderly person. And that Ms. Taylor has failed to make payment on the fines and costs that were previously assessed in this matter. Mr. Hadley, having had a chance to speak to Ms. Taylor, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, after advising Ms. Taylor of her rights and discussing the case, we would ask at this time to enter a plea of guilty as to the violation of probation for the failure to make fines and costs. But we would ask this court for an opportunity for an explanation as to what's going on with the more serious accusation, which is the St. Clair County Port Huron case.
Absolutely.
Your Honor, I would like to point out as well, as noted on here, that Ms. Taylor is working through the anger management class that she has been ordered to take. Money is money. She is working towards getting some of these payments made. As it relates to the Port Huron matter, I don't know exactly what's going on up there other than I practice in Port Huron, and I've never seen a DV get reduced to a disorderly person without having, a lot of litigation. She's not pled. She intends to defend this matter vigorously, as she should from our discussion on this. So again, Your Honor, we would just state that please consider that everyone's innocent until found guilty as it relates to the other matter. Ms. Taylor understands now that regardless of guilt or innocence, that she must notify the probation department of any police contact moving forward. And with that said, we would just ask this court for your discretion in moving forward with what's the appropriate resolution of this. I think Ms. Taylor is going to continue to be a good probationer. I just think that this other instance was unfortunate.
Mr. Grant, your recommendation?
Your Honor, as Mr. Hadley stated, she has been in contact with me and did even notify me of the Port Huron case prior to me discovering it on my own. So I do appreciate that. And like you said, she is been enrolled in the 12-week anger management class. I don't have an updated attendance. I've only have the enrollment. So I'm not exactly sure how often she has been to the class. So at this point, if we want to just reassess, I guess we could wait to see the outcome of the Port Huron case in 30 or 60 days. It's up to you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court will reset hearing on this matter for 60 days. That's to allow for the resolution of the Port Huron matter. The court does accept the plea of guilty of failing to make payment on the fines and costs in this matter and would ask Ms. Taylor to set or resume her payment plan. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I was actually trying to make payment, but I ran into a runaround online trying to do it online. So I was actually going to call today and make and put at least $100 down. It kind of gave me the runaround trying to do it online.
When you say runaround, what happened when you tried to make your payment?
When I typed in my name, it was saying search not found or your name not found. When I put in my information, as far as my last name, it was saying it was nothing, no record.
I'm not sure why that would be. So what I will say is make payment within 7 days. And then
Your Honor,
for the...
I'm actually trying to look her up on the ROA right now, and I can't find this case.
Your Honor.
Probably because it's deferred.
Okay.
So it's not going to come up. As soon as I saw the plea, it's a deferred, so it's not going to come up that way. Ms. Rapp, is there a way for her to go around and still make a payment online?
Yep, there's a different link. I'm sure Mr. Grant can email that to her to make that payment.
I will.
Thank you, Mr. Grant.
Okay, Ms.
Sorry to jump
Taylor?
in there. I was with her. I'm like, I can't find her online either.
I saw the MCL code. I said, that's what it is. So Ms. Taylor, Mr. Grant will send you a link so you can make your payment online, make a payment within 7 days. Probation
Yes,
Department
ma'am.
will send a notice to you for a hearing in about 60 days so you can get that Port Huron case resolved. It might turn out that we don't need to do anything else here, but I at least want something that keeps us on track to have this matter reviewed again, okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Anything else, Mr. Hadley?
No, Your Honor, Mr. Grant, thank you as well, Your Honor. Thank you for your understanding and hearing us out today.
Thank you. Good luck to you, Ms. Taylor. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Thank you. Mr. Laurie is here waiting to go into a breakout room with you, Mr. Hadley.
Excellent.
Thank you. What happened with Mr. Nunley and Miss Macris?
Your Honor, I was just looking up that case. I believe that individual is still in custody. So I believe that they couldn't get a hold of her.
Huron Women's Facility won't put her on for sentencing? Or is there some different special notice that should be sent?
We sent a notice. We actually mailed a notice to the facility as well. And Virginia left a message with the facility. But I don't believe that we've had any successful contact.
Okay.
But I will speak to her about it and see if she can reach out again or if she's received contact information since then.
I was gonna say, Mr. Nunley was here and he appears to have left us. And I was concerned when I saw the file that maybe we had not formalized Ms. Macris's appearance. I know that one of the reasons why we were delayed originally was to have the circuit court matter sentenced, but I'm sorry, Mr. Hadley, you're gonna say.
No, I was just saying, I can grab Mr. Nunley if you need him, and I'll wait, Your Honor. I know we were on the record. My apologies.
No, you're fine, because we're probably, it sounds like Ms. Rapp, we're gonna need to adjourn this matter because it was scheduled this morning for 9:15, is now 10 o'clock, and if MDOC hasn't come on or sent any indication to either you or Ms. Randolph that she would be that Ms. Macris would be made available, I don't know. At this point, what to do. This is 22BL00294B, City of Belleville versus Kyle Laurie. May I have your appearances, please?
Like he's,
Did we lose Mr.?
yeah, it seems like he's popping around. I don't know what happened.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Oh. Mr. Haley, I just called the case. Has you spoken to Mr. Laurie?
No, I'm chasing him around. I'm trying to get into
He's
a break.
here.
Can you?
He's here now. Let's get him back into room 3 with you.
Thank you.
Ms. Foley Carter, did you need to speak to Mr. Aloffman this morning?
Good morning, Your Honor. I don't think so.
Okay. I have a few more probation matters, but I'll get to you here momentarily.
Thanks, Your Honor. I just contacted the department and to check in the officer status.
Thank you. In
Thanks.
the interim, this is 220135 OD. This is City of Romulus versus Devon Patterson. The matter was scheduled this morning at 9 o'clock for show cause. It is now 10:01 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear. Bench warrant shall issue 5,000, 10%. (220650) This was State of Michigan versus Angela Macris. The matter was scheduled for sentencing this morning. The probation department has indicated that there has not been confirmation from the Michigan Department of Corrections that Ms. Macris will be made available for this morning's sentencing. Ms. Rapp, how would you suggest we proceed?
Your Honor, since this was only 2 weeks, notice, approximately 2 weeks to try to get hold of, where is it? The Huron Valley. If we can have 30 days to try to get in contact them again and have this adjourned, so we can actually have them here.
Absolutely. Thank you, ma'am. This matter will be adjourned for 30 days. Oh. I just lost my screen. Ms. Rapp, are you still able to hear me?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Yeah. Uh-oh, that's not good.
Do you want me to send Fred up?
No. Not yet. As long as you still can pick me up on this side, I won't worry about this for right now. We'll see if we can figure out what happened though. I cannot tell, is Mr. Lowry back?
Yep. Oh, there he is.
This is 22BL00294B. This is City of Belleville versus Kyle Lowry. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley, appearing on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Kyle Lowry. Mr. Lowry, please take yourself off mute and state your name for the court.
Kyle Lowry.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the probation violation notice. Hearing on that notice, the report from the probation department indicates that the defendant was sentenced on October 20, 2022 in order to complete a one-day anger management program and maintain a payment plan with the court. That Mr. Lowry has failed to provide documentation of his one-day anger management program, has failed to maintain his payment plan, has not made a payment since November 30th, 2022. When the probation department contacted him on January 9th about the anger management program, he indicated that he works and is too busy to complete the program. Mr. Hadley, how are we proceeding this morning?
Thank you, Your Honor. After hearing the reading the violation of probation, we would go ahead and enter a plea of guilty at this time and ask for a brief opportunity for a little bit of explanation.
That explanation, sir?
Your Honor, one, Mr. Lowry apologized to the court and to the probation department. He understands that I'm too busy is not an acceptable answer to this, and he's given assurances to myself and would like to make these to the court that if given a period of 30 days to get this scheduled and completed, that he will follow through with that. It's also my understanding that Mr. Lowry did make a payment on January 30th of $50 and intends to continue making payments as scheduled. Otherwise, we leave it to this court's discretion.
Ms. Rapp, any comment?
Your Honor, I do not see that payment that Mr. Hadley is talking about. But I do not object to the defendant having 30 days to complete that one day anger management program and get back on his payment plan.
Thank you. Mr. Hadley, in this matter, the court heard the plea of guilty to the probation violations and will allow Mr. Lowry to have 30 days to complete the anger management and resume payments in this matter.
Thank you.
Should he fail to complete that, the next course of action would be a period of being in custody to satisfy the requirements of this court's previous probation. Anything else, Mr. Hadley?
No, Your Honor. Thank you for your understanding and time today.
Thank you. That concludes this matter, sir. Good luck to you. Have a good day. See, Shannon, I hate to call Fred because it's something simple, then I always feel like, what did I do? Mr. Hadley, I believe that concludes our probation docket.
Your Honor, thank you very much. Shannon, Mr. Grant, great to see everybody, and everyone have a nice day.
You too.
This is 22HR 05678A, Huron Township versus Anwar Al Othman. May I have your appearances, please?
Caitlin Foley. Sorry, go ahead, Mr. Hoffman.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. State your name for me, please.
Anwar Al Othman.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for hearing on the prosecution's motion requesting the court to violate the defendant's probation, revoke the 771.1 status, and enter the misdemeanor conviction. Mr. Hoffman, did you receive a copy of that motion?
Yes,
And sir, are you ready to proceed this morning?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Foley Carter, your motion, would you please proceed?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. As you may know, the defendant pled guilty back on July 28th of 2022 to livestock at large. The plea was taken under 771.1. This court ordered that he keep control of all livestock. Since then, there have been 2 incidents, to my knowledge, that include citations that were issued to Mr. Al Othman. On September 29th, there was an incident that Mr. Al Othman pled guilty to a couple weeks ago and paid on January 26th. Similarly, he was issued a citation, pled responsible, and paid on October 12th. Those were both violations. Should we have a hearing, both Corporal Castelny and Sergeant Hickman are here to testify.
Thank you. Before we take testimony, if necessary, sir, what do you say in response to these allegations?
Your Honor, I had two mules, and I have him in the shed. When it broke up the shed, my neighbor knows a lady at the animal control. I told her if they can take him, but they left. But even though I let the animal control have him, I don't have him anymore. The 2 mule and the big animals, I got rid of them before. When I had the problem, I got rid of them. I only have now 2 sheep and 2 goats. I don't have the big animals, no cows, no. But when they gave me the ticket, I was on a probation for, was my animal going into the state land, and I prevent them from going to that side. But when I have the incident, went to the neighbor, not to the state land. That's all I
Anything
have.
else, sir?
No, that's
Okay.
it.
Ms. Foley Carter, anything else?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Mr. Hoffman, the court did have the opportunity to read the motion made by the prosecutor for Huron Township in its entirety. And your comments this morning seem to indicate that you are aware that your animals have gotten out again. Part of your plea with this court back on July 21st, 2022 included the condition that you keep control of your livestock. And since that July 21st hearing date, there have been other reports that you have had animals at large. You have paid the tickets on those matters, but it doesn't negate the fact that you have violated the terms of your probation. Based on that, the court will grant the motion filed by the township, revoke your probation in this matter, and enter the misdemeanor conviction on the livestock at large ticket that was issued in this matter back on June the 13th, 2022. Anything else, Ms. Foley Carter?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, sir?
No.
Thank you. That concludes this matter, sir. You're free to go. Have a good day.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. It was good to see you.
Is there any payment? Do I have to do anything?
Sir, it looks like you've already paid the fines and costs that have been previously assessed in this matter, so no.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Honor.
You're welcome, sir.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Mary Ann, now if you will call Fred for me, I'd appreciate it, but the only thing else we had were arraignments, and I haven't seen anything else come through yet.
He's on his way.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Yeah, it had frozen twice and my screen went black.
Like the whole Polycom went black or?
No, because I'm still good. I was still zooming from that way, but from this way, this just all went.
Huh.
I was just sitting here talking to them. Oh, for the love of mankind. See, Marianne, I told you. What did you do?
Nothing, I just powered back on the screen. I assume, I don't know why it went off, but
It had frozen twice. The camera had frozen twice. Thank you for it.